Hey y'all, it's May, and welcome back to another video with me, May, also known as Recaps with May. So, in today's video, I want to do my quick little two thoughts and review of a movie that people are calling the worst movie in Tubi history. What is that movie, you may be asking? It is Tiffany the Doll. Now, before we get into Tiffany the Doll, I would like y'all to subscribe if you haven't already. Drop on down. Give me some comments. Have you watched this movie? What did you think? I am in a Tubi movie group on Facebook, and I gotta tell y'all, it is over 100,000 people in this group, and I bullshit you not. Every time somebody talks about this movie, Tiffany the Doll, saying how terrible it is, the movie goes viral and it's back on the featured. You know how when you go to Tubi and it says featured, that means the movie is being watched by a lot of people. So I just think that's funny. I watched it. I had a ball watching it. I'm not even gonna lie. It's a horror movie, but it had a comedic element, and I think it wasn't even meant to be a comedy. But man, it was so authentic. It is a true hood Tubi movie in every sense of the word. Hood movie. Y'all know I like to go in depth on movies that I like, that I enjoyed. So on the IMDb website, we have Tiffany the Doll here. It says it's sci-fi. I wouldn't exactly. Oh, I probably shouldn't have did that, huh? Oh well, okay. It's rated. It's kind of sci-fi. I wouldn't exactly agree with that, but what you gonna say? What you gonna do? So it was released in 2022, last year. The rating for IMDb is 5.4. That is not my rating of it, but we'll get into that in a little bit. So, the synopsis of the movie is she's the perfect partner. She can fulfill your every fantasy, and she's all yours for a price. The newest toy, Tiffany, is no ordinary doll, but you have to play to find out. So, that gives you just a very general idea of what the movie is about. The director is Felicia Rivers. This is my first film of hers that I have watched, but she has directed other films. So she's known for Party Until You Die, which was released in 2021. It's a Bitch Birthday in 2019 and 100 Bodies in 2020. I also looked her up and I saw another movie. It's not on here, but I did see another movie. Lilith's Ball right here. So I did see that on my feature list on Tubi. That did pop up there. And there was another one that popped up. Treasure Box. That's the one. That popped up on my, featured movies, Black Cinema on Tubi. So yeah, she got some things under her belt. Her production company, I think it's called Geechee One Films. I looked them up, so I like to look up the writers, directors, all of that. And as far as the stars of the movie, we got some fresh faces, fresh people we do not know, but they did a really, really good job. And the starring role of Tiffany the Doll herself was Mahogany Darkberry. She did her thing on this movie. And of course, the thing about this movie is it realistic? No. But what horror movie is really realistic? You know what I'm saying? So clearly the dolls themselves were women. You know what I'm saying? We're not gonna play like these is CGI and puppets and all that. No, these are real women and they're sex dolls. So that tells you all you need to know right there. But yeah, as far as Miss Mahogany Darkberry, she did her thing. I loved her in Tiffany the Doll. the suspense of like we as the viewers, we see these dolls are clearly coming to life and they are plotting on these fools' lives. But they ain't see it. They ain't see nothing. They just they just all about like getting a sex doll. So yeah, that was my biggest thing with Tiffany the Doll. I enjoyed it. Let's see if they have the trailer up on here. Maybe we can look at the trailer. I don't think it is. But like I said, the movie wasn't that bad. Oh yes, here's the official trailer. Okay, so let's look. Let's look at it. Oh, I gotta put my birthday in. Oh, come on now. Let me put my birthday in. I know I'm gonna have to bleep this out later.
People keep getting hurt in this house. Yeah.
And of course, ads. We gotta watch ads. Let's skip that.
Cherie, guess what I found for Lilo?
What?
A Tiffany sex doll.
Man, that's all that nasty shit. What you about to do with this dog? So you mean to tell me you got a fucking sex doll for your anniversary gift?
These dolls make good companions, thank you. And right now, you probably sitting there watching your show, holding a bag of stale popcorn, thinking of Dustin. Am I right?
Yeah.
He's outside. He's wilding out.
Bro, these motherfucking sex dolls, they're alive, bro. They are fucking alive, bro.
Dolls in that movie.
Zach was right. Zach was fucking right.
What we about to do now, babe? Where we going?
I'm about to go find Zach.
You think he home?
Nah, he probably had that damn sex doll. That's where we're going.
Ever needed? I want to give you this code to control the emotions of Tiffany.
Why don't we need it?
Man. Yeah, so that was the trailer. When she looked at that damn camera, like it was just a fun time. And I think the one thing that made me really like Tiffany the Doll is that my expectations, honestly, there were no expectations. There was no expectations at all. And before I move on, I do want to also highlight the other writer of the movie, Aisha Little. I have not heard of her either, but she's also one of the writers on Lilith's Ball, Seven Deadly Sins with Miss Felicia Rivers. So they worked together on another film as well. That's on my list to watch. But yeah, so Miss Aisha Little, she did her thing too. So moving on to what I liked about Tiffany the Doll and what made it good to me is going into it, I had no expectations. I'm gonna keep it real with you. Most Tubi movies, I realized I enjoy them better or I get a better perspective when I go into it with an open mind and with no expectations. Most of the time, I think a lot of people they set their expectations really high, and when the movie doesn't, it doesn't hit that expectations that they had, then they're quick to say it's terrible, it's bad, it's bad, it's bad. But going into this movie, I did not have any expectations. I was like, I'm about to just go with the flow. Whatever story they're about to tell us, I'm gonna just go with it. And that was probably the best thing I could have ever done because it was a fun time. Like I was laughing, I was surprised. There's a twist that I'm not going to give y'all because I really would like y'all to have an open mind and go see it yourself and judge it for yourself. And that was the best part. Like it was a fun time. I watched it again because usually with movies, it takes me a few times to watch it because I'll either fall asleep, I'll get distracted, and then I gotta do a review on it. So I gotta make sure I have it like a fresh concept of it. Then I watch it again to see what I missed to do a review. So I watched it a few times. It was a fun time. Now, what I did not like about the movie, or what I thought could use a little bit of work, was the production quality. The production quality was not, I would say, I'm not even gonna say it's good, bad, because production quality, they don't have no really control over it. The sound quality could have been a little bit better. Some scenes were a little echoey, so maybe that's just a mic issue. Um, the cinematography was really good, but there were some angles where the camera movement was a little shaky, and sometimes the camera placement wasn't showing us the whole picture, because I feel like with them using the cameras, they could have told us or put emphasis on certain things just by moving the camera a little bit different. So that was pretty much it. The actresses that played the dolls themselves seemed very authentic. And that's another thing I like. The acting was authentic because honestly, y'all know how men can be when it comes to sex. And the fact that some of these men were so thirsty of like, yeah, she sucks, she fucks, she do this and that. So it was authentic. Like that is something, I feel like that's a very realistic authenticity to the movie that added to why I liked it. But like I said, the production quality and the camera movement was all I felt was like needed a little bit of work, but I'm not gonna dock it too much because I had a fun time. I can overlook it because the storyline was pretty consistent. They didn't, pull no extra stupid out the box stuff that some of these big Hollywood movies be doing. They kept it very simple. And they also left an open ending to where we might get a sequel. And actually I follow I follow the cast and crew on social media. So there is a part 2 that's in development. And if y'all think y'all had something to talk about with this first one, I'm sure the writers, they're taking that in and they're like, oh, they want real, they want this, we're gonna write it in there. So I'm excited for that. Take your time, do it right. I will be here when y'all are ready to give us part 2. So that really concludes of my thoughts on the film Tiffany the Doll. It's hilarious how every time people get to talking about this movie and how they think it's terrible, it goes viral again and again and again. And I mean, it's to the point where that one scene is like, people, I think somebody posted it on social media, on Tubi or something, not Tubi, but somebody posted it on TikTok of the scene where the girl dodged the bullet, and it's fake. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's fake. But I swear that clip got shared so many times, and I'm just like, y'all do understand that y'all doing free advertising for this movie. Like, this is why it goes viral again and again and again and again. So that's all my little 2 cents, my little recap of Tiffany the Doll. I tried to keep this recap and review spoiler free as possible because, like I said, I want y'all to go watch it. It's very simple. Like, the storyline is very easy to follow. It's very simple, and go into it with an open mind. But before y'all head on out, I also want to share with y'all my blog that I have, where I have a few reviews that I've written. And honestly, Tiffany the Doll, I only posted it 10 days ago and it has already done the doll numbers. It is related to sex. It's about sex dolls. I had to include this in order for the blog post to be seen. So, it's also saying, a blog may contain sensitive content, basically going at your advisement. So go ahead and click I understand, I wish to continue. And as you see, I've done a few other reviews. My very recent one, as well as Tiffany the Doll. Well, I actually did Tiffany the Doll like way before I did this one, but for some reason it wasn't letting me post it. So my latest blog is A Very Merry Hood Christmas that was directed by Thomas Harris, and right there. So that is one. Here's Tiffany the Doll. I went in depth on this movie. I gave my ratings. I still did not give too much of, I didn't give away too much of the plot because, like I said, I still want y'all to go watch it. But my ratings, here's my rating. So every review I do, I try to do a rating system, A through F, and I rate the production quality, acting, the plot and the storyline, the directing and the writing, cinematography, and editing. So for this movie, I gave it a B plus in acting, storyline, and directing, but I gave it a C in production quality, cinematography, and editing because those were the things that I felt like needed just a tittle little bit of work. But I didn't count that too much against them. And my overall rating for Tiffany the Doll was 6.8 out of 10. I want to see this production company grow. I want to see them excel and win, and just give us authentic movies that we have not seen on our screens. And like I said, I'm always here for an all black cast. I'm here for horror movies, especially horror comedy movies, even more because I love to laugh. So this is it. This is my blog right here. I included the link here to watch Tiffany the Doll. I included the film production company and the cast and crew. I included their social medias here. And like I said, you can see I got a few comments here. So yeah, this is my blog. This is Recap with May at the blog. So go ahead and look that up. And that is pretty much all I got for y'all. So peace, love, and hair grease. I will see y'all in the next video. If y'all have any suggestions of movies I should watch, drop down in the comments below. I like to get a discussion started going. And I will see y'all pretty soon.